Hi, it's Yash. What's the balance between duality and non-duality? I love shooting these videos spontaneous. I have no idea what I'm going to say. I just something likes that topic because this topic, the ego mind can have a field day with. And this can be something, you see, one of the main reasons and purposes or things that we have to do, don't say there's not a doer, is the reason the consciousness is on this planet is to realize its source while it's, you can say, entrapped in these three bodies: physical, mental, astral, or energy. To do that, so the non-dualistic side is for the consciousness to contemplate itself, its source. That doesn't have a form. You can feel it right now. You can recognize it right now. There's just this space, this, right? Whatever word you want to say. That's the non-dual aspect of a spiritual practice. What's the dual aspect? The dual aspect is looking at the things that seem to block the consciousness from being able to contemplate itself. Because if our mind's busy and we have too many desires and projections and what we want to accomplish and complaints and aversions and why doesn't it work right, and I have a disease, and oh, this sucks, I can't do what everyone else is doing, oh, my family member just died, what's the point in life, I can't get a car, everybody else has a good car but I can't get one. Other people found their life purpose, seemingly, but I can't find mine. All that stuff, we have to look and see, all that stuff can clutter the mind. It's easier for the localized consciousness to contemplate itself when this clutter's not there. So the earthbound duality work is to discover, do self-introspection, and see, like, what's here. What is here that's keeping me from being able to just switch off right now and just keep my attention and marinate in this higher awareness, this spacious consciousness in which this body is taking place in? Why can't I do that? Why can't I just keep my attention there? And then you'll start to see, if you're honest and you're willing to do the work, and you don't just dismiss duality as it's not important. When you're really willing to, and you understand, like, we got to look at both the duality and non-duality side. So what's keeping me from being able to marinate more deeply in myself? Well, who's this me that wants to marinate more deeply? Oh yeah, that's my individual dualistic side, which is necessary in order to realize my real self. Okay, props to the dualistic self. I appreciate that. I'm not going to dismiss you. But what's keeping you from being able to realize my formless self? Let me apply that to myself. What's keeping me from doing that? So one thought, and it's always thoughts. See, it's thoughts. That's why there's all these spiritual practices and religions are always talking about transcending the mind, because the mind causes this turbulence which makes our contemplation and meditation harder to do and to reap the fruits. What are the fruits? Union with the individual consciousness and its source. So for example, if I'm making this video, if I have a thought that says, well, this channel for some reason isn't, YouTube algorithm isn't putting it in front of as many people as my other channel, Semen Retention Channel. Check that channel out, by the way, if that has any interest about preserving our sexual energy, because that's a great tool to make this whole contemplation of the self more easy. When we're losing our life force, we don't have any power to transform. We need life force and energy to transform. Can't just say, oh, I'm already the self. Energy's a thought. Everything's a thought. So if I'm projecting and wondering, like, why isn't this channel getting many? Why isn't it being shown to people? Because that's the whole point for making it. Is I just want this message to, for those who resonate, I want to get it to them. So I want enough people to see and look. It's like, okay, I resonate with this guy or I don't. It's not about views. I don't have any projected outcome about I want 1 million views or 100,000 subscribers. No, I simply want this to get in front of those who would benefit. So the mind can start a thought like, well, why isn't it? It's because I can tell by the algorithm, it only gives maybe a few hundred impressions compared to my other channel. It gives, thousands. There's a bug. So the more impressions mean it gets put in front of people. So if I'm not getting many impressions, it's not getting in front of people. So then maybe those that would benefit, they're not seeing it. So that's an example of a thought that if I believe, if I like take that to be serious for a second and forget that there's the universal algorithm controls all these algorithms. You see? It can make YouTube do whatever it wants to do. So when I remember that, it's like, whatever, man, whatever. Now, if I start to take this human show too serious though and forget, like, wait a minute, like, I'm in a dream, this is an act, it feels very real because it's a sophisticated virtual reality game, but nevertheless, it's still a game. If I forget that, I'll start to take this serious. And then all of a sudden I'll have my own individual desires and projections and goals that I got to start to figure out how to make happen. And so then I'm not flowing in the same way consciously. And so then when I sit to try to contemplate, like, what is this background space awareness consciousness? See, if I have these thoughts, then that will also just become a thought. It'll just become another thought. The mind will take the spiritual practice and make it into a thought and say, yeah, you gotta, direct your attention to this cosmic source. Oh yeah, and you'll start thinking you're meditating or contemplating. Really, you're just thinking. Because you got to take the whole package. When I'm in thought, I got everything's thought at that point. Spiritual practice, non-spiritual practice, doesn't matter. So the introspection, the dualistic work is to catch that out, to catch when I'm in thought. And then intuition can guide and say, wait, relax. Like, intuition's coming from the higher intelligence, not the mind. Is say, look, remember? Remember, you're only here for a short time on this planet. You're here to experience life and to taste your true nature. This is why you're here. And the universe is running everything. Like, do you remember? Well, God put it in your heart even to make these videos. Do you think He's not going to take care of that, who it gets to? See, intuition starts straightening us out, putting us back in a sound, sane place in the mind. And then when that happens, then we're above thought at that point, and then our contemplation and meditation of our true nature becomes more easy. Let me know how this resonates. Have a good day.